The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. At that time, appearing to the 11, Jesus said to them, "Go into all the world and preach the gospel to the whole creation. He who believes and is baptized will be saved, but he who does not believe will be condemned. And these signs will accompany those who believe in my name. They will cast out demons, they will speak in new tongues, they will pick up serpents, they will drink any deadly thing. It will not hurt them. And they will lay their hands on the sick, and they will recover." The Gospel of the Lord. I think the conversion of St. Paul is one of the great stories for me in our tradition as Christians. And today we celebrate the feast of the conversion of St. Paul. And I love the way that Paul, in his incredible enthusiasm, he had this personality, this charisma of doing things to the extreme. Yes, he did it badly for the first part of his life, but he did it supremely well in the second part of his life. The turning point was when he had an opportunity of understanding. He was struck. Something changed in his life. There are moments in our own lives when things change. The death of someone, the birth of someone, a career change, a change from one country to another. What about ourselves right now in this pandemic? Look at the change that we are going through. But will we learn and convert as St. Paul did? Here he was, passionate, all his gifts and talents, to be charismatic, to be a good leader. But it was all being done to the destruction of God's will. And I think in this COVID pandemic we can see how often we have had great passion and used our talents that have destroyed us and destroyed others rather than build them up. We as a human race have not solved the poverty dilemma. We've actually made it worse. We are suffering because of that now. So in a sense, we, like Paul, have fallen off our horse. We cannot do the things that we enjoyed doing before. We have been brought low, but will we convert? Will we look at this gospel and see the things that we really should be doing? And certainly as Christians, and specifically as Catholics, that we are called to preach the gospel to the whole world. Have we done that? Have we preached our own gospel rather than the gospel of Jesus Christ? That's what Paul was doing. He was calling people to wash their past and look to the future. And there will be signs. We see the signs every day. We see the sign of the numbers of people who are dying, rising rapidly. In our own parish, now that people are aware that we are praying for those who have died of COVID, those who have recovered from COVID, we're getting more realistic numbers, not only of parishioners, but family of parishioners. And in the word or two later on today, those figures will be given to you. Many more dead than we realized, many more recovered, many more sick right now. Is this going to be our moment of conversion? Are we going to see what truly matters in life? Not all the excesses that we've got used to, but the fundamental goodness of caring for all humanity. Because that's what we're doing with social distancing, sanitizing, and masks. These are three incredible symbols of how we have had to change in order to save not only ourselves, but all humanity. We are learning, like Paul learned, that what he was doing was destroying. And what he was called to do was to build up. Are we going to speak in new tongues? Are we going to speak in a new language of love? Are we going to cast out those demons of doubt and negativity? Those demons of wanting to criticize in order to feel good? What are the serpents? What is the evil that we drink that we need to put aside? Where do we need to lay our hands? What are the sick situations in our families, in our society, in our church, where we need to put our hands together and pray? It was wonderful this morning to go and stand outside El Belito Hospital with 5 other people. I had forgotten, actually, to be honest, and I came late, but the other 5 were there. They didn't have to wait for me. I was so proud of them. I arrived 50 minutes late and I joined them, and it was wonderful just to do that little act that all of us Christians, each day a different church will be at El Belito. Our day is Monday. Laying our hands on those who look after the sick. Standing up in a small way, masks on, just clapping and saying, well done, thank you. Will we use this pandemic to convert? Or will we use it just to moan and groan and cry about the things we wish we had that we do not need? Are we going to get together as a humanity and change ourselves and the world around us so that we can feel this unity of God's love? Like St. Paul, will we use our gifts and talents wisely or foolishly? Let us change our ways. The world needs us more now than ever before. Amen.